Hey, yo, we're back! Okay, no, that's the worst one. That's the worst intro. I'm never doing that again.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright.
Get the fuck out of my office, Ema.
I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. It's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Mama killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted her dark Mama convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Mama's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Ema?
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Mama tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Mama trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
Well, see you later. You can stay here and cry. Oh, okay, I'll stay. You were like my third or fourth favorite character, so I'll talk to you.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right around this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was all alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then, suddenly, this terrifying man came into the office. This big cop, Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture into my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture?
Permanent picture? Talk about after the incident first.
I don't remember the moment when Mama stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana, when she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
Prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth? Why is this a surprise to you?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just gotten murdered, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
I'm fairly sure he did that on his own volition anyway.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must have not been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Ema.
Permanent picture!
What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Ema. You've been through so much.
She's the only one there? I couldn't bring... Yeah, no wonder you couldn't bring yourself to testify. There's no one here to fucking hear you. It's like, Your Honor? Oh, never mind. There's no one here. Like, what? They couldn't render in the, like, something?
I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14.
That's understandable.
14-year-olds are fucking useless. Almost as useless as you are now.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
But didn't you just figure out that she forged the evidence? Or no, you knew that. Okay.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Ema tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime.
Something puzzling? Alright.
There's something that's puzzling me, Ema. What is it? You said you were in Lana's...
Look, I clicked once and it went through, but I'm assuming he's in Lana's office on the day of the murder.
That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe and Lana had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Why? What? Why did they need to falsify evidence? So he ran away from being questioned and then tried to murder someone with a knife? Is there any room to even falsify evidence? Like, he's screwed.
Because the detective office is in the questioning room right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective.
Excuse me?
She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me!
After the Joe Mama case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
You can just do that? What? What are you talking about?
Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her.
What are you talking about? That is not allowed. That cannot be legal. I guess that goes to show for everything in this game. Alright, is there anything new I can show you? Because you haven't been around for a bit. What do you have to say about this?
It seems everything is somehow related to this incident. And what was it labeled again? The SL9 incident?
How do you not know that just off the top of your head? You just talked about it like 6 times.
Yes, the name of everyone connected to this trial is listed in here. All that's left is to figure out just what role everyone plays in this case. If we search this hard enough, I think we'll find our answers. What exactly did or didn't Lana do? I'm not sure I want to know I'm not sure I want to know everything.
Well, you already do, so I probably should ask you about this sooner. Alright, I'm out of here. Let's go here. Let's go talk to the douche.
Hello? Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks.
What? I'm okay, my mouse is broken.
Lana, Ema told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
I love how that's seen as like a demotion. Like, you're being demoted from chief detective to chief prosecutor. Like, chief prosecutor probably makes more money. She wears a fucking an army uniform from like the Second World War. Like, what? She has like 3 gold badges.
That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you've a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Then tell me.
Today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered in the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. Trial. It really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Ema.
Yes, it could have been. It could have been helped so much. Oh my god, it could have been helped more than 1 million old ladies across the street. What the fuck are you talking about?
At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife
I mean, she's admitted to it, so she's just going to say that she did it. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Ima, this doesn't involve just me.
Please do the thing where you turn around the chair again. I'm fucking begging you. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Oh, music went quiet for a second. I thought that said Drake investigation. Like they were investigating the musician Drake.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing. Wait, she used to be chief detective? Which locker was yours, Lana? Which locker was yours, hmm? Do you want to tell us?
They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes.
He doesn't have his big fucking cross. Yeah, he just looks like he actually looks like a detective now instead of like a fucking weird priest from like the 3000s.
Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports can even be filed.
Ema really idolizes her big sister.
But now you're chief prosecutor.
What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you use that experience in court, right?
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution.
His help as in he caused all the murders by murdering people?
After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about the investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Yeah, let's ask about the Drake investigation.
2 years ago, I was second in command to the detectives investigating Drake.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
Well, no wonder he could just get away with it. They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case was Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho.
You know, cowboys are like that.
Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
What? After he left or while he was in questioning?
And he tried to murder Ema. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us. We knew that, Phoenix. Wake up and smell the fucking honey. Okay, they don't say that.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and fled the room.
Look, I don't know why. I know I've already said this, but why did they need to falsify evidence? You're telling me he escaped from a room after being questioned for serial killing and went to serial kill, and they were just like, yeah, we need to falsify evidence to put this guy behind bars.
From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so.
I was filming some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. I was gonna make a movie. It was gonna be called Shitty Fucking Papers 9. What? Yeah, okay. Well, he obviously didn't do it. What? Why was there ever a question in your mind? Oh, he clearly stabbed this guy in the back and then fell asleep underneath him as he flopped down on top of him. What? What the fuck? Oh, God.
When I returned to my office, I saw the 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Ema, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe and Mama incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Ema, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her, after all her sister must have gone through.
It's weird that there was almost like a Mia was killed in her office and Maya found her, and then Ema was almost killed in her office and Lana would have found her. I like all of the relations between those two. It's cool.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Or I guess they were trying to kill Lana. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. What are you talking about? At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes. And his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Mama. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live on the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Ema was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Dude! Yes, something, something, something. The office that Mr. Gatineau occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Let's go there! Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of that final SL9 murder. Yep. Alright, see you later. I'm not going to talk to you anymore, bye. I'm not even going to say goodbye. Never mind. I already said goodbye. So see you later. Chief. Detective, so this way. February 24th, police station, you going to go? I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. I love how he says that every time he comes in here. It's like, aww. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. About as loud as it usually is. You're right. The chief of detective seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Can I not go up to the office from here? Okay, I guess I'll go to the police department entrance. I wanted to talk to you, though. That man must be the chief of detectives. You haven't figured that out by now? You've talked to him about 6 times, Phoenix. He's staring at the screen so hard it might shatter. What? Dark case may have been fabricated. That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now there's a guy who cares about his work. I love how he just says everything out loud. Alright, here we go. Gumshoe's gotta be here. Nope. Howdy, Bambina. You not gonna say hi to me? Or am I Bambina? Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. How the fuck are you not in jail? You stabbed someone, you know, broke into an evidence locker, you dressed up as someone else, you planted evidence at the scene of a crime, you're just standing here outside the police office. Detectives, do you want to come arrest this guy? Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you. Hey, Bambina. I should have known my luck and run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Is that your little tiny flask that you've been drinking from since you were born? Billy? That must be his pet cactus. What? Did you never water it once? How did a cactus dry out? Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little investigation. Is it into you? It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know that I won't be coming back. Did it die? Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Or you. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. Aside from Gant for some reason. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, a murder weapon. A murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Mama's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. Like your brother, right? Come on, man. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. You really need to ask about that? His fucking brother died, Phoenix. What do you think the scars are? I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor?
You mean the King of Prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? It's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
I think we're gonna find out why it's broken now. I actually forgot about that. Because everything in the picture that it showed of Jake, or whatever the guy's Marshall getting the award, it wasn't broken.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning. By nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of.
Really? I guess you were fired. Yeah, you were fired. You were killed, and you were killed. I mean, you were killed eventually.
Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
They? Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
You mean the one who fucking killed everyone and killed your brother? Gant and Skye. That sounds like a law firm.
The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
What do you mean? It was a complete fuck-up.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left.
So you're telling me David Gant got fucking promoted to the most powerful position, and Lana Skye was like, yeah, we can make you just the best prosecutor of them all, and everyone else who was on the case gets demoted or killed. What? Where's the logic there?
She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, he must have said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret's too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret? It all started 2 years ago.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today.
That caught me so off guard. I was not expecting that at all. Just the fucking... Oh, God. Can you please do that again, Marshall? That was so fucking cool. Oh, God.
Too bad I won't be around to work with you. You become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
What? Just faded away. Oh my God! Go over and pick up the lid off of his thing and keep it as a fucking memento. Is it just me, or does these look more green than usual? Blue Badger's still writhing around today. Oh God. Yeah, they look a little bit more yellow here. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, whole police department, blah blah. Oh, can I take out his batteries? Okay, we already did this. I want to talk to you fuckers. What do you have to say? Look, that patrolman's saluting that other guy. He must be a detective.
So I cuffed the lot, right? Well, you know what he says. What are you, a moron? I'm an undercover agent.
Oh man, I hate it when that happens.
I guess he wasn't saluting. He was just listening to how his friend messed up.
They make a good pair. You're really just gonna constantly have your hand over your face like that? Alright, send me inside. Never mind. How do I, wait, what? Do I have to go here to get to the fucking Gant's office?
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that... wait, what? We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, we thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
Can I go to his office now? Nope. I mean, I'll go to Edgeworth's office. Edgeworth, darling!
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later.
Isn't it weird that the King of Prosecutors thing has a shield? Like, you think it would have a sword, and the defendant's one would have a shield. I don't know. K, of course, stands for king. I am now lost because I thought I was supposed to go to Gant's office, but I can't. So... can I show you anything? Sklooga-doo-ga-doo, skloo-doo-doo. Do you know anything about this? Nope. You are such an asshole.
It's taboo to show evidence out of court.
I'm trying to save you from a lifetime in prison. Why are you such a fucking... I was going to say something I was going to regret, but I didn't. I'm lost. Oh, never mind. Apparently you have to go everywhere before you can go here. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Not deserted. Also, there's a baby in uniform.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did, and the decision about what to do, about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway of the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Shut up, Ema!
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Ema, you went and fucked it up, and now you're telling me to go there anyway? We're just gonna get in trouble. We're gonna go there, and Gant's gonna be there holding his shotgun. What the fuck is this? He's gonna be holding his shotgun, he's gonna blast us. Why does he have a massive church organ in his office? How much money does the police department have? Good lord. Also, there's the pot. Oh, no, this is broken. Yeah, that is broken. Is it? Wait. No, there's a sword on it. That's different. There's no sword on this one, right? Yeah. But it's still broken. Like, the top of it's still broken. Unless it's supposed to be like that? Oh, it's a sword breaking a shield, of course! Does it look like it's broken here? Does it look like it's snapped? I mean, that would make sense then. If there's supposed to be a sword going underneath here that's breaking the shield. It's still a stupid statue, don't get me wrong. But, you know. Alright. What we got? Is there someone just playing that organ? Whoa! Where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten.
What? Where did you go to kindergarten?
They used to call me Little Miss Bach.
I thought I was a genius. I didn't even click that time. Thought I was a genius, blah, 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 blah.
I never could remember where C was.
And now we're all deaf, thanks. Thanks a lot, Ema. Do you want to fuck us up anymore? Fuck, do you want to plant some evidence that would tie us to the crime? Because you just got us in trouble twice now.
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gaunt! He put that paper he was reading on his desk.
So, Rado, have you been swimming lately?
Why do you always ask me that, you weirdo? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies! See that big picture on the wall over there?
Sword, sword, sword. The sword's broken too. What a shit statue. It just gets even worse every time we see it. There's a glowing golden fucking suit of armor.
That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
And I can't.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
What? There's a fucking... That's the murder weapon right there.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture.
I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. There's two things not right. There's this pot that you have found before, and there's the fact that there's a sword on this. How are you so, like, unaware? Can't team picture add it to the court record. There's the big, fucking Dark Souls armor. Why do you always do this, Con?
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Okay, see ya.
Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? The Chief God denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the Chief's office.
Just go in and take the, like, blade off of his suit of armor and kill him with it. Let's go straight back in, baby.
Hey, pal!
Detective Gumshoe! Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee.
Oh, God.
It sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under the fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court.
That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Nice.
Alright, Dick.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed?
It's not like he knew the evidence was forged.
Anna Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she?
Just blame it on Gand.
Regardless, prosecutors are responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him.
It looks like he's saying that.
But now, this...
Oh, really? So many people who hate them?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies.
Hey, oh shit. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir!
Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat.
Yes, sir!
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? What? You gonna take a joint and suck his dick?
Yes, sir!
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out.
You don't do a good job of that.
Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him.
Why do you have your pen this way, by the way? Like, I noticed that before, but I never pointed it out. Like, shouldn't the pen be, like, coming out like this, and the nib should be here, so that when you take it, like, the nib is facing the paper? Okay, whatever.
Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack? You mean
when he killed Prosecutor Marshall? He was trying to protect some girl.
Some random girl, just some fucking no-life.
Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Ema was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well,
What was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with a murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress. How are you a detective? How? Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Okay, let's do that now. Now that I've been prompted to do it. Sklugadoo-gadoo-goo-doo. About this.
Hey, is that?
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I love how Phoenix just steals evidence and no one cares. No one gives a living shit that he stole the evidence. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that?
Exactly! My thoughts exactly, Gumshoe.
Ever since that case was closed, that knife was locked away in the locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. I don't remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Oh God, getting on so bad.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again!
Tell me... This knife. It was Joe Mama's, wasn't it?
That's right. I traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
Yo, you guys notice, by the way, that Gant is always wearing gloves?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where that broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own ass. It was found deep inside his rectum.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Neil's autos report ads in court record. Switch-related life updated in the court record. Dark's crimes, please.
Joe Mama was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just a run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? Phoenix. I'm sorry, I don't know why I need a second to recover from that. It wasn't even that extraordinary, it just caught me off guard.
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident?
An accident, yeah, but it transformed him into an animal.
Animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. And he killed a lady who saw the second crime. The kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then, when he was burying the bodies, a jogger came up on the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems like he was a pretty careless animal. You're telling me he turned himself in? And they still forged evidence? He turned himself in! He admitted to the crime and everyone was like, oh shit, how are we gonna get him for this one? We don't have enough evidence. In what fucking universe does this take place in, where admitting to a crime doesn't get you immediately thrown in jail? Lana also admitted to the crime and no one gave a shit.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. Oh, the crime was witnessed by someone too. And luckily, Drake was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness? AKA Ema.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around in it, if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card could unlock the door.
It's not locked with the key? What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
You just have that? Like, what the fuck?
That won't work either. Data was deleted the day he died.
Not true. It's gotta be a lie.
Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe's our only chance of getting into that office.
What about the other card? Oh no, you don't have it anymore.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
Zip. What do you think of this bad boy?
Oh my god, pal! It's huge!
I don't know what I can show him. Can I give you sweets? You want a fucking lollipop? Still, like, point out the flaws in this. The fact that there's a sword, the fact that there's the pot. That there. I wonder if that... Okay, obviously she's wearing this, but I wonder if this is the one that we found at the crime scene. No, it can't because it's in his office. This has to come in handy, or, like, you know, come into play eventually. Wait. Oh, okay, I guess you got your new futuristic uniform on that day. I don't know, man. Right, what can I show you? Thought there was a handprint on your locker, perhaps? I don't know. I'll try this, I guess.
That's the ID card record, isn't it?
Yes, there's only one number left to investigate.
At 4:20
p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number.
777777777.
That's 17 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch.
Yeah, say your hunch and then break into his office. Spray him in the eyes with this, with the luminol testing fluid. Fuck, pal! And then take his card and run away.
Not that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere before.
Yep.
Somewhere?
Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives.
This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met.
Yep.
Something about it makes me feel uneasy.
It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me.
Yeah, exactly.
Chief can't?
Where could I have seen that before?
Right here?
I'm sure.
Fuck you! You dickhead! I'm answering your question, dude. Can I talk to you about this?
Hey, that's it! It's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day.
Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself.
Okay, this is the same. Congratulations. I was wondering, why is there a worn shield and why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you. I can't tell you the answer. Apparently he's forgotten. Please, dude. Please, dude. You feel like you've seen it somewhere before? Yeah. Right there. It's right there. I got this right there. Blue Badger. Save me.
This guy almost made us lose the case today.
What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstains on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you could say about most officers nowadays.
It would have saved a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today.
Smiley face.
The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m.
I'm stumped, dude. I'm so close. I'm so close yet so far. What do I have to show you? Nope. 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 Fuck off. I don't know. I don't fucking know. You just gave me that. I did. Did I use this on you?
Studied up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice.
I feel like this chapter has, like, or this, like, session in particular has had a lot of, like, sentences that just, you know, end here and continue here.
I, for one, ain't buying it, pal.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, serial killer was on the loose.
But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Jack Dark.
I didn't even mean to get his name wrong on purpose that time. Mean to get his name wrong on purpose? Yeah, no shit, dude. Alright,
No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker.
Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, detective? The handprint of the real murderer's gloved hand, without any fingerprints.
Shh! If they come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you?
If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth.
please help me! Help me, Gumshoe!
Extreme lithium rubber glove.
Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Look at my attorney's badge, please. This has to be it.
Detective, here's my attorney's badge.
You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Or I'm gonna show the blah blah blah.
We already did this. Goodbye. I'm just leaving. You can fuck off. There's nothing I can do. I'll show you evidence, and see if you can help me, and maybe you can give me something back. Tell me about this. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for being just useless. Thank you. Yep. Appreciate it. Yep. Thanks for nothing. Yep. You know I'm trying to save you, right? Let me up to the prosecutor's office. Oh my god, is he here?
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
Here he is! It looks like he's writing something.
Okay, so I get a fucking his autograph for Gumshoe or something. What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor.
Do you not have a bin, Edgeworth? You disgusting freak.
Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
I'm just gonna steal this. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there!
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Go up and fucking kiss him. He'll be distracted. Hey, Edgeworth! Zip. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no! He's falling to the ground!
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look.
What?
Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, Letter of Resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been the just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything.
Letter of resignation put in his pocket. Edgeworth's discarded letter of resignation. He's serious. I wonder if I can use it for anything. I wonder if I can use it for anything. I wonder if I can use it for anything. What did he write? Is this written in fucking Zelda language? I'm bystander in my dying fire with Botox gin. By what? Is this supposed to be your... Oh, it's Mill for Miles, of course. That's so stupid. You get stuck at Mill. Yeah, okay.
Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor.
You really wrote a resignation letter.
Wow, even when resigning, Mr. Edgeworth is cool and concise.
What are you talking about? He didn't even use lined paper.
Still, it wasn't his fault.
Someone has to be held responsible. That's how it is in the grown-up world.
Yeah, but that responsibility means nothing if he just quits.
Well, not everyone sees it that way. To truly take responsibility, you should have to work the rest of your life for no pay.
Oh shit, you must have said that. Oops.
That's the rest of your life. You just have to work the rest of your life with no pay.
That's one tough grown-up world there. You should just be enslaved for the rest of your life to take responsibility for anything? Sure, Eamon. Wait, actually, I want to look at the back of that. I didn't do anything on it, though. Flip it over, please. Nope. It's just a big picture of fucking Phoenix's willy. Wait, this is my cock! Edgeworth! Alright, I'll talk to you. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase this fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. If the police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge, that fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Completely incorrect, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why! Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just get out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. That's the same thing I got at. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? It's odd. Is most lists, like, in general? Like, are you combining all lists in the entire world? After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. A picture? Something seemed strange about it. Yep. Like, two things at least seem strange about it. Could you tell us about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning and then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah! Chief Gann asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. Like, Phoenix, how do you not recognize this? He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Alright, didn't learn anything about that. Cool. Yeah, let's show you the picture. Someone can finally tell me something about this goddamn picture. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. I just stole it from him real quick. Now I can show it to you. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was when what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. Is this the murder weapon? It's right here. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. No, I'm stretching. There's a weird little hook on the bottom of this. That kind of matches up with the switchblade, doesn't it? Yeah. Something similar. I don't know. Oh shit, wrong button. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Contradiction is my job, Edgeworth. Give me the award. King of Prosecutors Trophy. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. Oh god, here we go.
In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Ema's sake. Phoenix, you are such a poser. Just say no. No one's heard that fucking story.
Very well.
I was hoping it'd show some fucking ancient Chinese drawing. I wished it showed some, or I heard like Chinese music though.
Long ago in the kingdom of Oh, bless you. Thank you, Phoenix. There was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or mirror.
Or armor. Mirror? What? Just ignore me. I wasn't here.
The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other!
Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
I love how the fucking chief or whatever is wearing like a shitty college or high school graduation cap. It's an American thing, I don't know where they were.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize. Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny.
If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant, because he used it to fucking murder someone, dude! King of Prosecutors trophy update in the court record. Dude. Right, let's go back and talk to Kumshu. Boom, 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 boom. Who are you? I'm assuming lunch lady.
Excuse me.
Yep. I don't want your stinking food.
Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef?
Actually, yes. No, I can't afford it. I can't afford beef.
Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
That was me, actually.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that,
but the murder occurred on the very day of the evidence. Wait, what? On the very day of the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
Dude! I wish there was a fucking transcript in this. This is a nightmare. I need to start just right-clicking, I guess? I have no idea what it said. I'm sorry. Did anyone see? Did anyone read? I'm gonna look at chat and see. Hopefully someone read. No one read any of that? Did someone get a single word? I got like the first word, but I forgot because I was so flustered by the fact that I missed it. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just skip to this.
Roast beef is meant to be savory when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago.
Do I have to talk to you?
Joan Mama. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy.
Gross.
Poor old Jake Marshall, though. It must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her? Who do you think?
Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong. Joe Mama got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious that the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened.
No, you're not. Shut up.
After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used?
I mean, yeah.
Damon Gaunt and Lana Skye.
They're just telling us the same things over and over again, but we get like 10% more each time. I just want to skip the 90% that we already know, though.
Gaunt led the investigation, with Lana second in command.
They were the best. This is the 5th time I've heard this.
They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they?
6th time.
Damon Gaunt's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
Completely unnecessary. His magnetism?
By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence.
You mean make evidence up?
He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he'd handled.
Incredible evidence?
You mean... Oh, yes. There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh, yes. Myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked, and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
You are scary.
Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Cat's powerful influence. Chief.
Did you just gonna say the word chief?
That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured.
Even though everyone knew the evidence was forged? Like, what are you talking about?
There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one can stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean
that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
You're actually being helpful?
But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
Well, see you later, chef. Fucking... Oh, I'm just gonna keep cooking up bullshit then? I mean, she was actually useful for like a sentence, which was cool.